Hopefully this one does not succumb to fire as the other ones had. Ahoy, salty dogs! Welcome back to StarMade on the Star Squadron server. My name is Lenscap, and once again, I am your host on this glorious, whatever day of the week it is that this video goes out. So I wanted to fly over here and check out this Citadel Hellgate from Nightstar Industries. I think this is Zaktar's faction. If you are not familiar with Zaktar, he does some really hilarious videos about how to design for evil, and God, that's hilarious. I'll definitely check out his channel. Okay, yeah, this is cool. The kind of octagonal kind of thing going on. Yeah, that's neat. Generally, they're circles or squares or something. So I always like when people vary up the shapes of their builds. Okay, but we are headed toward the hub pub right now. Let's see. It is not too far from here, but today we're going to start by purchasing a blueprint so we can get another salvager. In the previous episode, we destroyed our salvager by flying it into a sun, intentionally. So I meant to do that, sure. and then we also destroyed a combat vessel by flying it into a sun as well. That one was not quite as intentionally, and that was definitely frustrating. But anyway, we're going to need to replace our salvager because we need to do some mining. We're going to start on a new base, and I figured what better way to start a new base than by mining materials so that we can build it up. We're kind of since we're starting a new base, we're kind of starting over a little bit. Oh, I forgot to slow down. We're kind of starting over a little bit, but of course we still are going to have our ships and whatnot. So, oh, I passed it like crazy. Okay, slow down. Yeah, so it's kind of going to be back to the basics for us here on the Star Squadron server. Now, we still have the salty shipyard. We still have all of our blueprints. We still have all of our ships, so it's not like we're completely starting from scratch, but I want to kind of get a fresh look at what we can do and start kind of fresh with that. So we're gonna need to fly a little bit closer. I think we're good here. Which, by the way, we are currently today, if you are curious, flying around in the Misguided Assumptions. This ship has seen better days for sure. It's a little bit battle damaged, but I like that about it. Actually, let's see if we can repair our ship. Yeah, it actually is fully repaired, even though some blocks appear damaged. There is actually no damage to the ship, and I like that. I think that's a cool look. Well, it looks like we're missing a piece of scaffolding. We may have to take care of that. But anyway, let's go ahead and buy ourselves a blueprint. The ship we're looking for is the Pickpocket. We want the Mark 1. That's the salvager version of the Pickpocket class. So there you can see we've got our blueprint. Let's put these away back in our pockets. And now we're going to want to try and fill that blueprint. I don't think there's a way to fill the blueprint from a shop. That would be an awesome feature. Cough, cough. If there was a way to, fill a blueprint from a shop by buying all of the blocks, or if you own the shop by, yeah, I mean, I guess you wouldn't buy them from yourself, although I guess it would be a net loss of 0 if you did that. But anyway, I want to be able to fill this blueprint from my shop without having to transfer cargo all over the place. So let's see about filling this blueprint. Now, this is long and arduous and kind of boring, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll check back in with you once I've got the full blueprint. I actually haven't done anything yet, but I had an idea that I wanted to try, and I figured I'd include you guys in this. So all of our cargo is down here in these cargo blocks. These are all linked to our shop module. I'm going to cheat. So these are both linked up to each other. I'm going to turn on auto pull on this, and it should... It doesn't pull the things out of the shop. Oops. I thought it would pull the things out of the shop. Can I... Aha, you know what? I bet... Yes, there we go. That's my problem. I always forget to set this. Okay, so it is going to auto pull. Nice. So let's select this, and then we're just going to select all of these and switch inventories for them. So now all of our items can be pulled from our shop into this box. And let's see if that worked. Yeah, I think our shop is empty now. Okay, so now we can take this this block and use this. Let's put our blueprint in here first. And then we can use this as our personal cargo. Switch this to our cargo, and now we should be able to add all. And that effectively pulls all the, all of the parts that we had available in our shop at least, and fills them into our blueprint. So I've still got quite a few items to collect, but I think we can just fly down to the spawn shop and do that. Let's turn off the cargo. Let's put this back in our normal inventory. We can deactivate auto pull on this, and then now we can turn auto pull back on this, and we'll have to set the cargo blocks back to the shop. And what a cheaty way to do that, but it works. And so, whoops. And so now, whoops. And so now, if I can figure out the button presses, yeah, our items are back in our shop. Beautiful! We figured it out. Good job, us. While we're here at the shop, we're at the spawn shop. Let's look at our inventory a little bit, because I noticed that some of my items are not the same as they were previously. I don't know what this is. I have 2 blueprints for Bedlam class. I didn't realize I had those. But, like, I had a torch, and I have 2 flashlights now for no reason. I'm not sure what that's all about. I wanted to healing beam this really quick and just fix that. I think all the other blocks internally are pretty good. And I'm not going to go out and healing beam the external blocks. But let's fly over here to the shop, and we need to replace some things that we're missing. Are you the trader? Are you the trader? You're Craig. We want this guy. We want to talk to you, Bruce. Well, are you the trader? Or are you Bruce? Okay, I need some personal equipment. I need a weapon. I want a torch beam. I want something else. I need a weapon. I want a sniper rifle. I need a weapon, and I want a rocket launcher. Alright, there we go. So now I've got all my weapons. I didn't know they had different skins, actually, for these guns. Oh, okay, they look the same, actually. Yeah, okay, but we got our torch beam. I don't know what happened to the torch we had. It just, I logged in one day and it wasn't there, and I hadn't been back to a shop in time to buy it. Anyway, while we're here, let's go ahead and fill up this blueprint. So here we are, back at the Salty Shipyard, and I've got our blueprint in hand. So let's spawn the ship in. We're just gonna name it the default name here. Let's call it 1. That way it's kind of unique. It's going to be a uniquely named vessel. We kind of learned our lesson there. We can finally test this out. I haven't got to actually mine anything on the Star Squadron server at all since we made this ship, so I'm pretty excited to do that. We had the crossbones. It met a fire demise. We had the other one. It also, well, it's not quite destroyed, but it's definitely in pieces, missing a lot of pieces. Hopefully this one does not succumb to fire as the other ones had. I actually, between this clip and the last clip, it's been about a week. I don't know what it is. Like, anytime I don't finish the episode that day, it takes me a week to get back into it, or like 4 or 5 days. And in this case, the reason it took so long was because this is actually the third, that's right, the third salvaging ship I've spawned in this week. The other two, one of them, as soon as I spawned it in, just started taking sun damage. I have no idea what happened. It just, like, I spawned it in and it basically exploded right in front of my eyes. I didn't even get to pilot the thing. The other one, I spawned it in and started recording and flew to an asteroid belt over here, and it started taking sun damage along the way. So I got really frustrated and rage quit, and I couldn't deal with StarMade anymore for a couple days. I had to set the thing down. Let's go ahead and name this ship, though. We're going to call it the Reclaimer. I think that's a suiting name for a salvager. So we're going to call it the Reclaimer. We've got it set for public access, but of course I'm the only one in the faction, or we've got it set for faction access, but of course I'm the only one in the faction, so that it doesn't actually do anything for anybody else. Okay, I want to do two things real quick. The first thing I'm going to do is eject pod. We got to toggle it on and then toggle it off. The reason I am doing that is to get the cargo hauler, the forklift thing, out of the ship so that we can add it to our mining fleet. Let's delete this ship because that was the original, the one that got destroyed by the sun. Let's remove the misguided assumptions from our mining fleet as well. And we're going to add a member. We want to add the Reclaimer. And we're going to add the Junk Pickpocket class 1RL8. That's the miner, for sure. Okay, we want to add one other member, though, and that is Entity Ship D. That is a cargo pod. That cargo pod you can see, here, I'll point at it, that one. And what I'm going to do now is order these things to idle in formation just because I'm lazy, and this will bring them to me instead of having to go get them. What I'm going to do, though, I wanted to use this episode to actually test out our mining ship. Okay, so it's like a flip-flop. You gotta turn it on and then off, and then on and then off again, I guess. That's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna use this episode to test our mining ship and gather some information about its utility. We want to make sure that it's going to be a worthwhile vessel. And I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about with Tortuga, so we'll get right to that. As soon as this cargo pod gets over here, I'm gonna load it into the ship. And then we'll make our way over to an asteroid sector. So I will see you guys there. So here we are at the Cap Mining Outpost, which is a block and a faction module. The greatest mining outpost in the galaxy, I'm sure. And what we need to do is set our navigation filter so we can see asteroids. I just wanted to make sure that there were going to be some in... Oop. Let's get out of the way of the mining outpost. I wanted to make sure there were going to be some in the sector, and there are, but they're a little ways off. So what we're going to do is order our fleet to mine this sector. Let's do it, and then we'll launch our drones. Now our drones should take off. Let's make sure they're doing it. We'll shift out of our view there. Yeah, it looks like they're all headed in the right direction. One of them appears to be flying backwards, so that's a little strange. They're not very fast, though, are they? Mine sector. Okay, maybe that's a sector over. Let's tell them to idle in formation, and then we'll fly over there ourselves, and they'll follow along. So I wanted to talk about the Tortuga, the new base we're starting, and how excited I am to work on that project. I've got some cool ideas for what I think we want to do. I don't have any real plans on what kind of shape it is or anything like that. So that's going to be kind of up in the air and it's going to remain ambiguous, I think. But I do have some ideas for kind of what I want the idea around the base to be. So I want it to be very mechanical. I want it to move a lot. I want it to have like rail doors for every door. I want detail in the hallways. So if you remember, if you were ever privy to my live streaming that I did, we built this really awesome hallway in a freighter ship that actually never came to be yet. But mine this sector. Okay, don't mind the sector, just spin around. You guys are so weird. But yeah, and that was a really cool looking hallway, and I want to incorporate some detail-y bits similar to that in the new station. So we're gonna spend a lot of time on it, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun though. It's gonna be a really, really cool build once it's finished and ready to go. Yeah, look at this go! Here, let's switch cameras so we can see a little better. Look at this thing go. Beautiful. Okay, now I was having one problem with it though. And that was, let's finish this blast. And that was that, let's see, where's the ship? That was that for whatever reason. Order. Mine this sector. Okay, I don't know why they're not doing this. Who knows? Those are the mining variants of the drones, right? They gotta be. Anyway, the issue I was having is that for whatever reason, the cargo is not pulling into the cargo pod. Yeah, it's not. So I'm not sure what that's about. I know that it's all hooked up properly. I even checked and rechecked all the connections myself. So let's see. Can we even get to them from here? I don't think we can. We may have to do it in build mode, but everything should be set up properly. This is pulling. This is what it is. I did this thing again where I forgot. Oh my gosh. Okay, watch. Now it's gonna work. Yeah, that worked. Good job, Lenscap. You forgot the most basic thing. Again, great job. You're terrible at this game. Anyway, yeah, so long story short, I don't know why my drones aren't working, and I'm excited about Tortuga. Okay? Okay. That's going to be all the time I've got for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to fill up this cargo pod, and next time we can start building on the new station. I'm so excited for it. I'll see you guys then. Stay tuned.